And welcome to the HS Game Time Studios for another edition of By the Numbers. He's Eric Paul Johnson. I'm Pep Fernandez. Every single Tuesday, By the Numbers in the Press Enterprise. And Eric, let's go back to last week's question, talking about the Santiago Volleyball team. Unblemished this season, looking to cap off a perfect regular season. So let's go to that question. Who's the last team to do that?
Yeah, Santiago right now 28-0. They still have 2 matches left. They can go 30-0 in the regular season, joining some rare company. The last team to do it would be the 2008 team from Notre Dame. They went 19-0 in the regular season, went on to win the section championship. Another team in recent time that it went undefeated in the regular season was the 2004 Rim of the World volleyball team, which I believe went 28-0 in the regular season. So,
and the Sharks have how many games left?
They have 2 more in the regular season against Centennial and Norco. The most impressive thing right now about Santiago is they haven't dropped a set all year, as well as they've swept every opponent. There's 71 straight victories.
Wow.
In sets. So.
I feel another by the numbers coming on with that straight sets victories there. All right, now to football. San Gorgonio and Vista Murrieta winning, but they're winning by large margins as well.
Yeah, you kind of look at some of the scores in both San Gorgonio and Vista Murrieta, and winning comfortably in a lot of their games. San Gorgonio, the only undefeated team right now in our coverage area, winning games by an average of 31.5 points per game. So that's second highest. Vista Murrieta's point differential is 34.4 points per game, and that right now, would rank high in the area's history. Of course, the Bloomington team from 1994 that set the national scoring record up there, I think it was about 45.5 points per game. Riverside County record for the highest point differential average is the 2010 Centennial team. And a lot of people remember that team. Games were over by halftime for most of those games. So, definitely look at those, some good tests coming up for both those teams. Vista Murrieta has Chaparral next week, and of course San Gorgonio has Carter this week. So those should be some nice tests for those teams.
San G and Carter. San G wants some love, so we're giving you love right here on By the Numbers. Big San Andreas League game this Friday. All right, now to the Norco football team. Had a lot of change, in the off-season and players leaving, new coach. Could they make the playoffs again? Well, they're on the verge of doing it again.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those amazing streaks, and given all the change, that was the big question, but they are now 1 victory away from clinching that playoff spot. They can do it this week if they beat King, and that would be their 27th straight playoff appearance, which would move them out of a tie for the longest in inland area history. Fontana also had 26 straight. So kind of looking right now where that ranks, it's the longest active streak, obviously. But La Quinta and Centennial, both with 17 straight years. Centennial just clinched their 17th. La Quinta can make it 18 this week. And then Serrano and Elsinore, 15 straight appearances. Both of those teams looking to make it 16 this week.
All right, and on to the question this week. Girls golf. Now the individual championships for the southern sections is underway, and there's been a couple area golfers to actually win the individual title.
Yeah, we had the preliminary tournament or the regional tournament that happened on Monday, but November 7th we will see the CIF Southern Section Championships being taken place, and I believe it's been contended for a little over a dozen years, and we have produced 3 champions in the inland area. So the question of the week is, can you name the 3 girls who have won CIF Southern Section individual girls golf championships?
Is there at least one from the Southwestern League?
Yes.
Is there more than one from the Southwestern League?
No.
No, okay. See, I always guarantee at least one hint each week on EPJ's questions because they're always so tough. All right, for Eric Paul Johnson, I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on By the Numbers.